Can't hear you, Rob.
Dave, testing one.
Yes,
Yeah, this thing's all whacked out tonight. Looks like
uh,
we're on our own for now anyway. Lou has not replied,
that's a bit.
and Gigi hasn't replied either. So,
God, we've been ostracized, and
well, it kills Lou to ever be on time for anything, so he might
I
be
know,
here.
but we're 10 minutes late.
Well, yeah, I set it up 10 minutes late, but
So you'd think you'd be able to get here on time if we're 10 minutes late.
anyway, hey everybody. I see everybody's chatting away. I have no idea what Dave has in store for us. Is that a real picture of Scotty? Which picture is that?
Is that the one maybe at the beginning, our little avatars?
Oh, I don't know. Could be. So, Louis late. Fuck him. What do we got going on?
Well, as you know, it makes it a little bit more difficult now with UMG, and for some reason seem to pick on this channel and not a lot of other channels, because I still see all the stuff we've done on other channels, and it seems to be okay, but whatever. Obviously, they're fearful of the brothers. I get that. That's fair enough. I thought tonight we'll watch that Mayday in the Making for a start.
Okay.
It's 6 parts to it. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it before.
Hey, Harley, hope you're doing better, buddy, out of the hospital. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. This feels fucking awkward, like we're not ready to start, but I guess we are.
Well, we are, but I said it's awkward because Louis is not sitting here.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen that? What is that? The Mayday in the Making? I've never seen any of it.
I've seen a couple of them. I haven't seen the whole lot. So
now some of my other favorite channels are getting smacked as well. That's such bullshit. I'm not even gonna get on that tangent right now. Okay, this is the best Lewis's look, says Clay Atkins.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, and it's the most intelligent comments I've heard from him so far. So,
Okay.
Maybe his girlfriend's giving him grief.
Scotty, you're trying to get in the studio and it won't let you. That's because you're going on the wrong link. Let me send you one real quick. Hang on. Well, we're going to have somebody here, and you guys might not like it, but we'll see. Everybody else. Yeah. Turd Monster finally got Lewis. Yeah. Okay.
If Scotty's coming on, can we not make it a show and tell?
Can we do what?
Not make it a show and tell.
A show and tell?
Where he starts getting all the stuff out and just in front of the screen and
I see. Wow, he won't stick around because he probably doesn't realize this isn't really music, right? I don't know.
No, not really. I don't think so. We wouldn't get away with it if it was music.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Gigi, where are you, Gigi? Did we scare her off after one night?
So that's Gigi, Louie, and Darren all ghosting us.
Wow.
I guess we know who the two important people are here.
Well, we've usually got the best opinions, let's be honest.
Raider fan thought Scotty got deported.
He got caught sleeping with his cousin outside of the Carolina boundary lines.
Oh boy, let's see here.
Jay Bake, I have seen a couple of them. I haven't seen all of them. I wouldn't mind getting hold of Mayday.
I don't know what's going on here with Scott either, but he's telling me to send it to another number, and I don't got one.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll go without him.
All right, piss on it. This is just a train wreck waiting to happen.
I still think we need to do that Paul Stanley Live to Win.
Yeah, I would love to.
So I don't know whether we do that maybe on a Tuesday episode.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, let's just go.
All right. So let me bring up my magical files. And I think I did the right thing and put this in its own little folder so I wouldn't get confused.
So you're screwed up too.
No, because when I downloaded them, I put them in another folder so they're not just sitting in a big folder and I'm going, what the hell am I looking for here? I do have a couple of other little videos too. And I might even show a bit of that Vince Neil from his solo concert the other night.
That was from the other night?
Well, it was, yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Oh, gotcha.
I think it was beginning of August. And you can tell he's got the lyrics set up on screen because he keeps looking down every now and again, having a look at them. Which I thought was funny because I thought, if you're looking at the lyrics, why don't you sing them? Because once again, I got no idea what he's singing. He's looking down and then he sings something. I thought, what is that? Anyway, we'll look at that. The band was great though. I won't diss the band. The band was great. All right, so we'll go with episode 1 of Mayday in the Making.
How long are these?
Only like 5 or 6 minutes each.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So, here we go.
Pero
We're ready.
el nombre o de que los nombres individuales de la banda o al
No,
revés?
a ver.
Okay.
No, hi, we're the Warning. I'm Daniela. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Hi, I'm Daniela.
I'm Paulina. I'm Alejandra.
And we are the Warning.
This third album, I can honestly say with a lot of confidence, is that it's the best thing that we've ever done.
The new album, how to describe it? It's The Warning on steroids.
They can all play their instruments like no one I've ever seen. If you listen to this album, you know this is a rock band. It's not a female rock band or a young rock band. This is a rock band.
Who was that girl?
She's one of the Lava record executives.
Okay. So she's brand new in the scene and hasn't seen any bands?
Well,
I wouldn't be me if I didn't point out the utter ridiculousness that she just spouted, that these girls play their instruments like no one she's ever seen.
yeah, well, you know what people are like.
Yeah. Okay. I won't go any further than that, but come on, reality check time.
I watch sports over here, and people play 10 games and they get called superstars. I'm thinking, hang on a second, it's been around for 3 months. They can be a superstar.
And then they brought the demos. I was like, you guys are kidding me. It's like, do you ever write a bad song? It's at another level. The Warning at another level.
Working on the album with David and Rick was a little bit nerve-wracking at first because we know what we want to hear.
I was really nervous that David was gonna be like, no, I hate all this and let's do something different. Like, we were prepared to fight over our songs.
We literally told them, like, we are super picky. Picky.
You see how far you can push day one. And you started to talk about a song I didn't like. I said, I don't like this song. And I had 3 girls right up in my face together. And they talk in Spanish.
It's somewhere between like the buddy system and gang mentality, in my opinion. They travel in a pack.
like a gang of lionesses circling the prey.
I think that if we were not sisters, like, this would have fallen apart so quickly.
Having 3 girls being amazing, talented musicians at such a young age, and then having those 3 girls be sisters and so connected, that doesn't happen.
I can't believe they're my daughter. Like, one moment that that happen? How?
Being in a band with your family is great. We experience everything as a family that it'd be weird like to experience it alone and then come to my family like, oh my god, this happened. No, it's like a thing. It happened to all of us. It always happens to all of us.
I'm used to being in a room for 3 months with a band. This instance, I've never experienced before. I've never had the parents in the studio. And then their manager came. Now I've got the Guardians. I definitely didn't get to be me because I usually swear like a trooper and say all sorts of inappropriate things in the studio because nobody's filming me usually. Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that, and I probably never will again the rest of my career.
You know, they're going to get where they want to go. They strike me as workaholics, and they're on a mission. I mean, this is their dream, this is their destiny, and they're going to do it.
Their best work yet. And that's not just because they're our daughters.
That's an amazing feeling. A big accomplishment for them.
I mean, they've been through David Bendeth boot camp.
Yep. Survive. Is it wrong?
I have never been so on time.
This does sound more like a synth.
Going once, going twice. Die for me.
Wow. What a performance. Beautiful, beautiful. What a voice.
Gambare.
What a special voice you have. I hold a certain standard to the records I make. Of course, they've almost earned a rite of passage in the sense that they've played on their record everything.
That's all them, you know. They did it, they played it, they killed it.
When we started working with David, we just took it to like a whole new level. And we're so happy with the result. And I'm just super, super excited for it to be public and for people to listen to it and hear what people have got to say. Because I am so proud of what we did. So proud.
Is that it?
That's the end of the first part. Yep.
I didn't know that RFK Jr. was a producer. With that voice. Hey, Scotty.
That's a smoker's voice.
Dude.
I see you're happy as usual. I don't know. Louie is a no-show, Darren's a no-show, and Gigi was supposed to be here, and she's a no-show. So,
oh, okay. What are y'all doing, man? I mean, what's the what's the
bunch of interview? It's just a bunch of interview series. Yeah, it's not going to be music tonight.
Okay.
Just
Keep beating
because
us up for music.
we don't know what we can and cannot get away with because their eyes with Universal are pulling people off of YouTube left and right. So,
all right.
Who's Kiss with?
Kiss is Mercury, Polygram, Universal, but Kiss don't care anymore.
No.
Yeah,
true.
and
True.
I was just wondering if they were still with
If they're what?
that. I'm just wondering if they were still with that company.
They don't own it anymore, so I don't think it matters.
Oh yeah.
One way or the other. Whoever that Swedish company is or whatever the hell, they sold everything to.
What they called?
Well, man.
Yeah.
I
Here's
don't
what it
know
is.
how yeah, I just don't know how I feel about selling my whole life.
Yeah, that.
Because that's what it would feel like to me.
Well, they're looking at it. I've heard, not necessarily them per se, but a lot of these, because every legendary act is selling their shit. You can't take the money with you, right? But I'm thinking, y'all got kids. Why not sign Power Down? I don't like it because I got irritated decades ago when I saw like a household, cleaner or something commercial playing the Hellion from Judas Priest. I'm like, what the fuck? I wouldn't want my stuff associated with something I don't believe in or use myself. Same thing with advertising. If we ever got big enough to advertise, I'll tell you right now, I'll be saying no to anybody I don't use personally or don't at least believe in.
Don't agree with. Yeah.
No
I
chance.
don't either. No, I don't blame you. I'm on the boat. Well, looky there.
Have they changed the time zone over there, Louis?
Yeah, it said 10 p.m. That's why I thought it was going to be late.
10 p.m.
What?
8:10.
8:10.
No, it said 10:00 p.m.
Not on my stream, it didn't.
That's what it was saying. If I saw 8:10, I would have. No, it always gives me my standard time whenever you do these shows. It'll say 9 for me. When I saw 10, I said, well, he's going to be late. So I'll do other stuff until then.
Not sure what you're looking at, but how you doing, crabby ass?
Crabby, as I should be. No, I'm okay.
We thought maybe you and Gigi got together.
I don't know where the hell she even lives.
Good story.
All right, well, here's the deal. Since Scotty's here and he's going to want to see some music, I'm going to break the rules a little bit. Alejandro sent me a link in Facebook Messenger earlier. Somebody put up money from the show at the Fillmore that I was at. So we're going to throw caution to the wind, and if they strike it down, so be it. But just so Scott can get a little taste of what I was at, here is money from the Fillmore. And if you look, stage would be, if you're watching it right, like second or third row in front of Danny, once in a while you'll see this very shirt with hands up. That's me. You can see me once in a while.
All right.
Here we go.
Awesome.
Does anybody know what they're talking about in the chat here? One of them saying the chat is covering the screen.
I was going to say, it always does.
I don't see chat covering my screen. It's off to the side. And
well, it covers part of the picture. Yeah. I mean,
and no offense, Rob, but I'd rather be looking at the girls. They're right in front of you. I mean,
I can see the chat down the bottom.
It's not covering.
It's not covering them.
It usually cover. It'll cover me, and I'm happy that it does that. But it probably goes a little bit. Yeah. See, just a small portion of the screen.
When I put the comments up?
Yeah, when you put those comments up on the thing.
Settle down. Clay Atkins, Rob, please explain to Scotty that Powell was sick here, and you could hear it in that intro, couldn't you? Sounded like a hoarse old man trying to do harmonies in there. Yeah, she was really, really sick.
Yeah, she still did good.
I didn't even catch on to it, so.
Yeah, I think she's doing fine.
Okay, Jay Begg said he's referring to me telling him to look for my arm. No, you'll look for my fucking arm. Fuck the girls, goddammit. You have a chance to see me in the audience. That's far more important. All right.
That's what I've been focusing on too.
I got big screen and I'm just seeing a whole bunch of blue people.
All right, here we go. let me clear a couple things up right now as I was there.
I seen you.
It sounded much better than this would lead you to believe. The sound here on this video is very muffled. It was so crisp and tight and loud. It's not coming across on this video at all. Also, you can definitely tell how sick Pau is. She looks like she's half asleep at that drum kit. And if I would not have known that, it would have been something I would have mocked and ridiculed immediately. But being right up front, I could see her face and she was struggling. So what'd you think of the money I got to see, Dave?
I would have been really happy if you'd actually got up there and sung the cash.
Cash?
Money. Well, you could have done
Thank you.
both, you know.
Thanks for sharing, Lou.
No
Who had the
problem.
blow?
I figure I'm gonna be rude tonight.
So what'd you think, Dave? Sound good? You could tell
Yeah,
the camera sound is shit.
Unfortunately, whenever you record anything on an iPhone or whatever, those microphones just can't pick up the sound right. And I've even done, playing a song here at home for someone over my speakers, and they complain it doesn't sound very good. And that's just the way it is. Like, so I always look at it whenever I see a cam, a fan cam. I always take it. They're bound to sound 50% better than what they did. Except for
Hello to you, Angel. Okay,
Angel.
Scotty, what did you think? I know the warning's not your bag, but what did you think?
I like that song. I mean, I'm not one to go full critical on these guys because the only little bit that I know about them is through you guys and what I've seen. Pulled up and watched them on my own. And yeah, that was good. I like that. That was pretty rocking right there. I ain't really got any complaints about that one.
Alan,
I like the light. I love the lights.
The
lights
light
were
show
really
was
cool.
amazing. It looked even more wicked in person. It was so.
I bet.
Alan, the USA's audiences always seem so lame compared to the rest of the fan bases everywhere else. Preaching
They
to
do.
the choir. Preaching to the choir. It's one of my most cringeworthy things when I have to accept that I am not one of them, but they're my countrymen. I almost dislocated my shoulder in particular to that song, throwing the fists in the air. But unfortunately, the majority of U.S. citizen concert goers either look at the show through their fucking phone or have no idea how to react to anything that moves them, or maybe it just doesn't move. Maybe they're just there because they got nothing else to do. It's embarrassing when I watch videos on YouTube from South America or even over in Europe and stuff, and I see people going fucking nuts from start to finish. And then I watch some fan cam from our crowds and they're all standing there like a bunch of Walking Dead. It's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, man.
It is embarrassing.
Take a lesson from AC/DC's 2009 Black Ice concert, River Plate. Now, you won't see a damn crowd, brother. I mean, soccer stadium, bro. And every one of them are jumping. Dude, the whole fucking stadium, bro. It is insane. Yeah, man. I thought I was the only one that paid attention to that shit.
No, it's
I'm sitting here looking at
me for years.
Just to correct
we
you
went
there,
to the Motley Crue when they got back together. You said you worked security at that show.
Yeah.
2005. We were on the side, upper level, but not about halfway back. So we had good, we could see good. Motley Crue comes on. We're standing up, bro. We rock out the first song. We're still standing. I look, everybody's sitting down. Hell, our group stand up. We're getting popcorn and shit thrown at us all night. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. I'm standing up.
Absolutely.
Until I get ready to sit down.
The audience,
the
audience is an extension of the band and the energy, and they feed off it. The musicians feed off that energy. I've never understood it. Alejandro stopping by to say hi. Thank you. I just played your video. If you're late, money. Louis, what did you think of the video clip?
I thought it was pretty cool. I think that the sound wasn't so bad, even though maybe on the muffled side, but it had a lot of heavy punch to it, so it was enjoyable. And this is why, folks, this is why live albums have to be redone in the studio to fix those type of problems. So it's not fake; it's just sound corrected and maybe a little stuff added in here and there. But so. I tried looking for you, Rob. I couldn't see you in the video at all because all I saw was a bunch of blue and a bunch of arms going up in the air. And so it's really hard unless you pause the picture and move the arrow mouse cursor to say, "This is me." I'll never know which one is you.
Rob's was the well-defined muscular arm you saw.
Shit. Right.
I heard that laugh in the background.
Wait a minute. I was like, is River Plate down South America?
Yes, it's right there. Yeah, I think it's right there in between Mexico and is it? It's right there in between South America and Mexico. The little thin. I think it's a little thin part there that connects them, give or take. Yeah, I think so.
Hold on. I got to read this. Manaya, hi. I usually don't chat here, but I just wanted to ask if you were aware there's a certain sector of the Warning fans who don't like you and dedicate posts on X speaking badly of you. I did not know that this was going on X. I do know, believe me, from my previous channel, Victory Cast, there is a huge section of the Warning Wussbag army who does not like me. And to that, I say, fuck you and thank you. If you don't want the truth, don't listen, don't watch. Go sit in your fucking room with your headphones on, holding your Warning album cover and praying to the goddess that is the Warning. I don't give a fuck. Take that to your X chat and shove it right up their ass. So there you go.
All right. And that goes for any band.
That's right.
Hey, we diss Kiss all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody is above criticism. Nobody is perfect. This channel will never be about fucking selling false prophecy to some false fucking idol god bullshit. Either it's good or it sucks, and we're going to tell you. Plain and simple.
River Plate is in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
No,
that's
Buenos
why
Aires.
you got
Argentina.
that's why you got all that good enthusiastic crowd going down there.
Wow. Yeah, pull a clip of that up and put it on here.
All right.
Hey, yeah.
I got my rant out of the way.
You didn't even know you were going to get one.
Yeah, I was kind of half asleep for the last episode, so that kind of felt good. Got my blood going a little bit. What do we got next, Dave?
Yeah, Dave,
I suppose we got part two.
Part two.
Part two. I will bring up.
I will say, in typical modern day video fashion, that last one was annoying with the constant cut screens, right? God damn, I hate that. Just leave the camera on someone for 3 seconds.
No, it's not how it works anymore.
I know.
Oh, you mean I missed a shitty video? Yay.
See, when we grew up, people only had one camera. So that's all you could do.
Yes. We were poor.
Make a whole film with one camera. I'm not sure if we were poor. It's just the way it was done, wasn't it? It was.
My way was funnier, though.
Yeah, it's a good song.
All right.
Hello,
What are you doing?
I didn't do anything.
Oh.
I am 18 years old. I am the drummer for the band The Warning. My name is Alejandra Villarreal. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico, and I'm the bass player for the band The Warning.
I'm Daniela Villarreal. I am the guitar player and lead singer of The Warning. So The Warning came to be in a very early stage of our lives. We started playing classical piano at a very young age. I think I was 6 and Pau was around 4.
It was a family environment of music.
We started playing the piano when we were very young. We started with like classical music, and then we bought this video game, Rock Band, the Rock Band.
The Rock Band.
Rock Band.
When we bought the game, that was the moment when we were like, hey, we want to do that.
We absolutely loved that video game. We played it all the time. I would just be like jumping around with my guitar. Pat would never let me play the drums because that was her thing and she was super good at it, and I was just like, no.
When we bought the game, I noticed Paulina, and she was like, like with so much coordination, and I told her like, look at Paulina.
But you need to take into account that I was like 6 years old at that time.
By next week, Paulina was in lessons.
The thing with Dani was she wanted the guitar because of the rock band, but we knew that it was gonna be difficult for her because she was 8 years old.
I asked my dad if I could play the guitar, and he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And he said 6 months. And by the week, I wanted to give up.
But she kept her promise, and by that time, she already started to love.
I was about 3 when we got the rock band, so I didn't actually play. She was a baby. And basically when we were playing rock band, and I was clapping next to us. I picked the bass when I was about like 6 or 7, and I was like, ooh, I want to play that. Don't know what it is, but I want to play it. And when she started playing the bass, we started like thinking like, hey, these instruments, like we can play them together. We were like, oh, these 3 instruments actually make up a band. So we're like, we can start playing together.
We said like, why? We should play something together. And that was it.
We had no idea that we were gonna do what we're doing today, like at all.
For us, the decision to upload videos on YouTube was just like, we're gonna send it to our grandparents, the file's too big, let's upload it on YouTube and send them the link.
But suddenly they started getting a lot of attention.
All of a sudden, it exploded.
Our parents really reminded us that like this was for the music and we could use that to start writing our own music. I think that was something that caused such a huge change in us, from just like, let's play for fun, to like, whoa, we're a band now.
Not everything comes without its sacrifices. It was tons and tons of practice.
Suddenly, you're not just a normal little teenager who goes to school, does her homework. You're playing shows, you're playing in festivals, and you're playing in front of a lot of people. Something that maybe like a lot of people my age take for granted, like going to parties, going to school, even like people who like, oh my god, I need to wake up at like 6 a.m. and go to school every day, was something that like we couldn't do.
And I appreciate the support of my parents and all that they had to go through to get us to this point, because for them, it was just as hard.
As a parent, you never know which one is the right path. We wanted to support them. Like any parent, just try to give them what makes them happy.
We usually compare it, what we're doing and what is happening and what could have happened. But as we started playing more shows and as more people started to show up, especially like at an international level, it was like, that's where it really settled in. Like, whoa, like this is for real. We are so grateful that we have the opportunity to be playing these shows, working this way, writing music. Like all these opportunities don't happen to a lot of people.
Thanks to all of that and all the sacrifice that we put through as a team, and not only us, but our parents and our management, everyone is just so incredible. And I'm very grateful, not only that we did it, but that we were able to overcome it.
Ooh, okay.
If we weren't in a band,
if we weren't in music in general, because we always get out of that question like, oh, it would be a song right now. Like, what would you do out of music?
Honestly, I think I would be a teacher.
A teacher?
A teacher.
No, you would be such a good boss.
You'd be a good... Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I would like to write. Yeah, I'd be a good writer.
You would be a writer.
I would have to do something creatively. I couldn't... Yeah, no, like a job office. I honestly have no idea.
I think you would be a good model.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm not really good at posing, but you know, you'd be a good model. I could work on that. You got the height, you got the face.
Okay, so we got some behind the scenes things that I've heard a zillion times. I won't fault this interview for it because this was very early on, but I think everybody who knows the Warning knows the rock band story. Still seeing some of them old photos when they were just freaking knee high, you know, sitting on the piano or whatever. It's amazing. I mean, I know all of us huge Kiss fans, AC/DC, whatever. even those musicians weren't doing the shit that young. So it's always refreshing to see something like that. What do you think, Scotty? Getting to know the band a little bit.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting, man. In a lot of ways, that's the way it happens, you know. And I look back on our childhood, me and you know, there was a few of my cousins and some of my friends and stuff, man. We'd be listening to the albums, you know, on the big stereos back in the day, and we'd have, you know, brooms and buckets, man. I mean, literally, we would be just doing the best we could, man, to try and keep up. And, you know, and that's, it looks like that's what they done. And they got real instruments, man. Their parents backed them, dude. That's a big deal right there. And they stuck with it. Hardly do kids that young stick with anything.
No.
But well, look, they're all from Mexico, right?
Yeah.
They don't look like Mexicans. I mean,
No,
no
their
offense.
parents don't either.
But I just learned something there. I didn't know they were Spanish. I thought they were Canadians or something. But anyway, that's another big deal too. I will say this about the Spanish people. Those people are loyal people, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to anything, family or anything, I mean, they're not really that diverse, even in America. Now, I don't know how they are in California. I don't know how they are where you guys live, but here, they're family oriented. You don't never see a mixed couple with Spanish, dude. They stay with their own kind, bro. They are very loyal people, and I will say this about them too. I have never met one that's ever disrespected me. Every one of them I've ever met has been as nice as they could be, literally.
Yeah.
Just humble people, man. That's my experience with them.
There is a certain spoiled arrogance with Americans that I have noticed in my measly, 51 years of existence. I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Mexican culture, but I do have a lot with the Puerto Rican culture, and it is very similar in that it is all family. Everybody they hang out with is family. Everybody they talk to is family. I'm not going to go out and say they're, against other races, but it is a very family orientated culture. Something we used to be a long time ago.
Yep.
When I was a kid, every family was everything to everybody around me. And I was floored as I got, closer to graduation into my 20s, how many people I learned in this country just disappear across country somewhere, whether it's for school or a job or whatever, and never fucking see their family except for holidays. I never understood that. I could never do that. And I'm far from Mr. with family 24/7, but that's a little cold, I think. And to me, it wasn't, you couldn't have had too close of a family group to end up that way. That's just my opinion on it. But I was in Australia. You guys all big family people there or not?
50-50. Some people are, some people aren't. So obviously, when I came here, Australia was made up mainly of British people, Italians and Greeks made up, the vast majority. A lot different now, obviously. Asians, Africans, God knows what else, whatever, the refugees would get sent. But you did find that everyone stuck to their own. Like the Italians hung around the Italians, the Greeks hung around the Greeks, so forth. And I still think it's like that today. But yeah, as I said, I've had half the people I know are really family orientated, and the other half, couldn't care whether they saw their brothers and sisters again.
Before I get to the big old teddy bear Louis, Notorious Nemo, all this self-hate America talk. Come on, brother. No, trust me. I love this country more than any country on the planet. I would never, if I was a gazillionaire, I would never live in another country. But there are things like the entitled behavior of the last couple generations that are spoiling the basics of what this country was founded on, like religion and
Yes.
family. And it's become, our country has to be the most guilty, except maybe of China, for giving a fuck about nothing but their goddamn gadgets. I mean, these last two generations have sullied the fucking, the whole way I look at America. I'm embarrassed. We were just talking about the concert crowd. That shit didn't fly back when I was a teenager. Everybody was going fucking nuts. Your head hurt so fucking bad and your neck the next day from headbanging, and your voice was gone from screaming. What the last two generations have represented in this country is absolutely embarrassing. That is not to say this. I still don't. Sorry, Dave. Just saying, I believe this is still the greatest country in the world, but it doesn't mean we aren't without fault. And I am not afraid to point out that flaw. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'm glad to say I'm not part of it, but I'm not proud of it either.
Oh, look, and to be honest with you, Rob, like most people who live in Australia would have always said, this is the lucky country. This is the best country to live. But a lot of people now have the same opinion where we don't like the way things are going. And, you know, it's not what it used to be. And, you know, like I said, I don't lean left with politics. I don't lean right. I am in the middle. But I find the thing with political parties now is they're either that far that way or that far that way. Can we just have the middle ground again? Like, that's what I want.
Yeah. And we're not going to go political, and that's fine. That's not what I was really insinuating. If anybody took it that way, that's not where I was going. I was just saying that I don't like the youth of this country and their lack of family values, the lack of core values, and their religion is their tech, their phone, whatever. And I got to comment, get off my lawn. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
And it's the same here, Rob. Exactly the same here.
Yeah, there is wisdom with age, and if that means get off my lawn, then so be it. You have to be a fool. I challenge any of you who don't agree with me right now. Go out to eat somewhere, not McDonald's. Go out to eat. Go out to a family restaurant somewhere and see how many tables are engaging, or how many of those fuckers are all on their phones. And some parents, which shame the fuck on you. But yeah. Okay, Lou, what was it like over in the East Coast with you? Family, you're Italian. You had to be big family oriented.
No, I mean, like a lot of Italians are that way. I was going to address the Mexican thing first. There's never any ground set 100% rule about anything, but there are a lot of people living in Mexicans that live in America that are very family oriented. You'll have 3 generations in the same home. The parents, their kids, and grandma and grandpa, they're all in the same house. With me, like, for example, my dad came from Italy, and then I was born, whatever. I don't want to give too much history, but my dad, mom lived in the downstairs apartment. I was very young. Then my brother was born, and we rented the downstairs half. When my dad was getting ready to go look at a house to buy, all these friends in the nearby neighborhood say, "Hey, Dominic, why don't you come live over here? We got a lot of houses here." And my dad goes, "Nope, I'm going to go live in Riverside, because if I live over here, it's going to be like I never left Italy." So it's just me, my mom, my dad, and the brother living in the house. And now my mom lives in her house by herself. My brother lives in a house all by himself. And I live here in this place all by myself. And we get together twice a week for meals.
There you go. That's the cool. That's the cool thing.
Yeah, that's our life, because believe me, the stuff my mom says, she aggravates my brother, she aggravates me, and everything else. We can never live together beyond a few minutes before the meal starts and a few minutes after the meal's over. After that, we all have to split up and part company. Otherwise, we're going to get into a fist fight. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. I don't remember who posted it up on the comments, but I give a kudos and a thumbs up to the dude that had the Marx Brothers reference for the girls. I love the Marx Brothers. They're my favorite comedy team, and he nailed it pretty good with how the girls match up to each Marx Brothers that he or she named.
To bring it all full circle back to the warning, the bottom line is their family unit is incredibly tight. Everybody, for better or worse, is on the warning team, is family, friends, a close circle. And I say for better or for worse because, Wingnut probably shouldn't be in that circle, but he is. But you got to give it up. I mean, that kind of tight-knit family, let's face it, if that was an American family, I mean, look at the child stars. Jesus, you'd have the parents taking ownership of all the kids' rights and money, and the kid going to drugs and shrinks, and it's just it's such a cliche already. So you got to love what the warning's doing and what they're able to do with that family unit.
I got one more thing. Real quickly. I love seeing mommy and daddy in the video. Mom and dad in the video, that was cool. Now, the first video that I missed, was that a song or was that interview clips?
It's all interviews.
Oh, okay.
It's all that Mayday, and it's all the Mayday in the making thing.
I thought you said with all the camera changing that it was.
It was because they were going through clips of different interviews and different behind the scenes shots, and it was just boom, 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 boom.
Oh, okay. I thought I missed a song with multiple camera angles. I hate when I see that. So I'm kind of sorry I missed the first part, but that's okay. I'll watch it afterwards. Anyway,
give it a thumbs up too, Louis.
Thumbs up.
I was just going to say, Rob, how good is Danny's hair?
With what?
Danny's hair.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see it, I said,
yeah.
Focus.
Also, somebody posted up here that the Warnings song "Sick" has officially made the new Madden football game. And to that, I'll say I don't give a shit if it was fucking apologized. I'm happy because it is so long overdue that these fucking sports games get the goddamn rap out of the soundtracks and put it in music the way it's supposed to be. Rock personifies the energy of sports, not so.
Yes.
I am so tired of hip hop. I could throw up.
God.
So congratulations, Warning, and hopefully Madden and everybody else in the game making industry is waking the fuck up. We don't need the next coming of Snoop Dogg. Put it to death. Put it to rest. It's over.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to say that you reminded me of something. You ever go to those amusement parks or anything, and they put the Scrambler or Merry Mixer into a darkened room with lights and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to one of those, and I'm hoping they're going to play something, and they don't. They play that Mr. Jones and Me by who's that? Who sings that song? I'm like,
Beatles.
The who?
The Beatles.
No, Mr. Jones and Me. That's like that. I think it's Hootie and the Blowfish or something, or one of those type of alternative bands. But anyway, I think the most perfect song to play in that scenario is The Offspring's.
Why don't you get a job?
No. The song the Damned did first. Smash It Up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the perfect song.
Counting Crows. Raider fan says Counting Crows did the song.
You. Okay, thank you. Yeah, but Smash It Up by The Offspring is the perfect song to play for that scenario.
Yes.
Okay, I'm done.
Not coincidentally, or I don't know if it was even planned or what years they came out, the Counting Crows did Mr. Jones and Me. The Black Crows did Mrs. Jones and I around the same time.
You knew Mr. Jones.
I got a chuckle out of Louis. That's good. Okay. It's time for a 5,000-mile wipe, Louis.
I know.
All right.
Is that all you can think of?
What's next, Dave? Rob used to go roller skating. You fucking right I did. Hey, from like first grade to early junior high, I was at every fucking Friday night and a lot of Saturday nights roller skating because back then that was the shit. We didn't have gadgets and stuff, so you either went to sleepovers at night or you go to the movies or you'd go to the roller rink. And then we had a place, luckily, right across the street that was a arcade with bumper cars. And that was called Bump and Tilt. So we'd sometimes walk back and forth and do both. Ain't nothing wrong with roller skate, man. That's where you got to hear all the newest, coolest tunes, man.
And you could bump into
I
girls
still
by
like roller
accident.
skating, man.
I would too if they had one here, but they don't.
We
No,
still
they all
got
have-
one.
They all have ankle breakers now with those bloody, 2 wheels.
Yeah.
Yep. Roller Skating's Friday Nights. I Was Made for Loving You. The Stroke. Born to Be Alive.
God. I'll tell you, Journey pretty much was Journey and Loverboy and Billy Squire made up like 3/4 of the songs.
Bit of Turn Me Loose.
Yeah.
Dum, 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 dum. Love that song.
All right. So to recap the video, Jay Bake says we started with family, moved on to how shitty the last 2 generations have been, and finally ended up with Lewis' perfect scrambler song. What a roller coaster. You know, Jay Bake, that's what you're going to get here. It's a shit show. You should have known when you saw how this one started tonight. It was going to be a fucking disaster.
Where is everyone?
How many viewers do we got?
We have 174 loyal fans of The Warning watching.
How many do y'all usually have?
Usually between 150 to 300.
Okay.
Bounces back.
Okay. All right.
He's a popular.
The roller rink was the best. Pac-Man music videos, disco ball, couple skating, best of times. Yes, couple skating.
Damn right, bro.
You felt like you were going to score and you didn't even know what scoring meant.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
I think Styx said it right when they had the song "The Best of Times."
Yes, and I know all the young people are watching and going like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Just go back to your iPhones and shut the fuck up." We actually
Find you go to your local skating ring if you have one. Throw on some skates. Listen to the music. Roll around and relax.
It was about socializing. That's a concept lost.
Lost today, bro. Hell, you know, and it is, man, because hell, you go anywhere, dude, the grocery store, Walmart, or anywhere that you have to go to get anything now, man. You don't ever, I don't see anybody just stop and talk, communicate. It's zombie. This is fucking zombies, bro. All everywhere. That's all it is, man. It's sad almost, bro. It's depressing.
There you go,
Yeah.
Dion. Leave your phone at home one night. You might actually have fun.
You might.
Did you hear Ghost was actually stopping people from having their phones at the concerts?
Good. You know what? Fucking watch the damn show in front of you, man. I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody for my Victory. Well, before my Victory Jazz channel, I'd go to these festivals and concerts, and if it was a band I didn't care about, for the most part, I'd get some footage. The good band that I was there for, I'd get a song or two for the internet, for my channel, trying to grow a YouTube presence. If it wasn't for that, I'd have never taken my fucking phone out of my pocket. You're missing. Reality is right in front of your face. Why are you watching it through a fucking phone? That's like this whole virtual reality glasses bullshit they got now. I'm like, because reality is not good enough for you, 360 degrees, you know, every day of your life. I mean, come on.
All I done with my phone was take pictures, man. I didn't video shit. I
asked him,
snap pictures with it, bro.
You know, was he against people, you know, taking video and showing it on YouTube? He said it's got nothing to do with it. He just wants the audience to connect with the band.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, the band is there to connect with you. That is why they are
back
there.
in the day, you couldn't take cameras into these places, man. They wouldn't let you take shit in there.
Yeah. I just don't understand the logic. Why
you couldn't take nothing in there, bro?
You pay all that money, go through traffic, stand in line, pay the ridiculous price for concessions, merch, just to watch it through your phone? Why didn't you just save all that money, wait for someone to put it on YouTube, and sit on your couch? I just don't understand, but whatever. Rob, since you don't like rap, how do you feel about new metal? Asked Alan. I would say I'm unclear of what falls under new metal. I experienced a lot of different newer genres of rock and metal with my reaction channel. A lot of it I liked, some of it I didn't. I don't know what qualifies as new metal. I'd need some band names maybe, or
definitely. So early Linkin Park was certainly that.
That's new metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind Linkin Park for a little bit. It got old quick. They all kind of sounded the same. I am 110% against them putting a female in there as a singer. You don't do that. You know, nobody's going to go watch Bon Jovi if there's no John Bon Jovi and it's, you know, chick du jour. You stick with the formula that got you there. But I'm not against modern music post grunge. Anything grunge is a deal breaker for me.
Oh, I don't. It's according to what you call grunge, man. There's so many people labeled a lot of grunge music. Not maybe not a lot of it, but a majority of that grunge music. It was not grunge music, bro. It just got
That's that
put
new one.
in with that because that's what was in. You know,
Yeah, Dion here, Chester died, so they tried to do something new. I get it. I get it. They can't just not exist. But I don't want to hear "In the End" by a female. Much like no disrespect to Lizzie Hale, I don't want to hear "Youth Gone Wild" by a female. You get to know an epic song a certain way, and it just needs to remain that way. Even if the replacement singer isn't as good, it still should be the same type of sound, and not all of a sudden I'm listening to Skid Row performed by the Runaways. So Limp Bizkit is new metal. I'll be honest with you, I've heard very little Limp Bizkit, and that was by design, because a little bit I did hear I did not like. It's too heavy for me.
only two songs I like by that band. I do like those two songs, but that is it.
We are old. We are slowly getting into the newer music, just by accident or by choice. So, like I said, some good, some bad. That's the same with every decade of music, every genre of music. It is what it is. Will says he used to run home with a friend from school that had MTV and watch Bon Jovi and Van Halen videos. Yes, now you're speaking my childhood. Okay, what else do we got? The Warning here, part 3.
Part 3.
All right.
All right.
Describe each other. Okay, let's do Pal first.
Creative.
Outspoken.
She's a spark.
She can also be a bit loud.
It's the life of the party.
Energetic.
A great drummer, great singer.
She really drives what's happening.
She goes completely on passion.
Pal is such a fan of music.
Drummer, singer, writer, composer.
Alpha, right in your face.
But she's so lovable. I'm gonna take everything as a compliment.
You. How would I describe myself though?
LA is so humble and so talented. She's technically incredible.
She can hang with the best of them.
Very bold.
She's observant and very persistent.
You are scary at times, but that is very useful.
Yo, Allie with the eye rolls. She's the most reserved, but to be honest, she may be the most animated.
You, Danny, you're very organized.
Older sister, protector. The same as she asks of herself, which is a lot, she asks of the team.
Disciplined, persistent.
She's a sweetheart.
She's honestly super nice. I don't know how she does it.
She's the heart.
Very, very passionate.
She's a boss.
Danny is a powerhouse front woman.
I mean, she's up there with the top voices of female rockers.
The beacon of light in the darkness.
Oh my god, thank you guys.
See?
So nice.
And I'm scary. Jumping from covers to writing our own music I think it came very naturally.
Pau has been writing songs since she was I don't know, maybe even 5. We would be I don't know, making lemonade. She was making lemonade.
We started writing as a little experiment, and our first EP was basically those little experiments.
Our main focus for writing is rock and roll, but that doesn't mean that we don't listen or learn from any other genres.
I listen to a lot of K-pop, and I also listen to a lot of Japanese rock since it's so different. I listen to a lot of classical music, I listen to a lot of alternative music, I listen to a lot of K-pop.
I love rock and roll for its energy, and I wouldn't change that for our band, but it's great also to learn from all the different types of music that there's all around the world.
Good. I really liked it. The chorus is really good, and I think that one of the best things about this is that you put really quick melodies that go up and down very quickly, and in Korean language, that works so well because they have so many syllables.
God, está super padre, qué emoción.
Creatively, it's all them. The way they work is they start writing and composing, and then they get together, then they rehearse, and they don't show us anything.
As for what we speak about in our songs, well, most of the times they come from Pau's brain, and we're just like, that's genius, and we kind of tweak it out and make the song appropriate to that feeling that we're talking about.
So I usually just sit on the piano and I just play something until something comes out. And then I show Danny and Ali the song. I try to pitch it as best as I can, so they're like, oh my god, that's a great song, let's work on it.
Pau's the one who has like that muscle, that creativity to just like create little words out of nowhere.
We start working on it. We start adding the drums, the guitars, the bass, and we're all very involved in that process.
And it's really fun because I know I play the bass, but I don't do my bass parts alone. Like, Paul helps me and Danny helps me, and it's the same for the drums, the vocals, and the guitars.
Since we are very, very opinionated, we like to be in each and every part of the process. So we're doing bass lines, we're all there. Each second is important.
We're all very involved in every part of the process, which I think makes every song unique, and it sounds like us.
Honestly, we get along so well, but the only moments where we have like fights is when we're writing, because we have such different opinions about what a song should be. It's up to votes. 2 people, you win.
We work really, really well because we have this honesty to our communication.
We do have like that clear line between like bandmates and sisters. You need to look at it as like what's best for the band, and not like, oh my god, like you're turning your back on me, like I'm your sister. No, like we're working.
Seeing them in the studio interact as bandmates and as sisters was really cool. It's just such a deeper level of connection. They know exactly what they need to do to support each other in all situations. When someone's cutting a vocal, when someone's cutting a guitar, like if it's going well or if there's hesitation, there's just like that sister connection was so cool to see that level of support.
They're sisters. I don't know how else to put it. It's like obvious that they're sisters, that they have each other's back, they finish each other's sentences, or they say the same thing at the same time.
When you're in a band, it's like you can break up. If this band were to disband, like they're still gonna be sisters, and no matter how heated or how big of a deal any of this is to any of us, I don't think it's more important than their family to them.
I'm so glad that we started writing our own music, because there's like nothing that I love more.
That's what we like doing the most, inspiring people with our own music.
And I have found out that my comfort zone is writing from the heart. It's literally, if I'm feeling a very strong emotion, the song comes out.
Okay, I would just like to say my comfort zone is called nap time. All right, your reactions to this segment, Scotty.
Wow, they're sisters too, huh?
Yep. I brought this up a long time ago. Imagine you're dating one of them, and it's family dinner night. How are you not tempted by the others?
Hey. Damn.
Hey.
Hopefully they're into that.
Yeah.
If they are, you just hit the jackpot, brothers. But anyway, that's that's awesome, man. I couldn't imagine having a couple of brothers and being in a band together. Wow. Dedication. That's all I got to say, man. That's just dedication and really just lifelong passion right there, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah. The Notorious Nemo. Why is Scotty not wearing a shirt? Because he's got a body that allows it. I was
outside.
If you look to the left on your screen right now, you'll see the difference between
I don't look that bad actually in that.
No, you look pretty muscular in that.
Yeah.
I was outside doing.
You're sporting a big 1-pack on that one, Louis.
Yeah, but still
I was outside working.
My man movies are stretched upwards, so they don't look so movie.
I've always said, Louis, if you show up to a party with a 6-pack, people are impressed. If you show up with a keg, you'll be best friends with everyone.
Yeah,
damn right.
Us keg people, we're the people. Louis, Scotty and his 6-pack.
Yeah, we got the kegs.
No, we got no 6-pack.
All right, Louis, what'd you think of that segment?
You know, we have for a long time now made the Kiss comparison with them taking the stage by storm, outdoing their main attraction acts, becoming the main attraction, and all the pattern and everything else. But this is where they separate from Kiss, and I'm proud of the Warning. The way they work cohesively together to create their songs. That is something Kiss never really does. It's one guy writes it, and it's got to get approval or yes or no. Paul Stanley makes all the decisions. I don't like that song. It's not going on the album. And usually he doesn't like to put songs on the album if they're too damn good, written by somebody else. Because he's always got to be the king of the hill. Because I've listened to Gene Simmons stuff off his Vault albums, you know, when it was allowed on YouTube for about a week, and I'm sorry I didn't rip them into my CDs to have them. He's got really good stuff on that Vault album that you will never hear again, because you can't buy the CDs, independent CDs alone. They don't play them on YouTube anymore. I mean, he's got some really good stuff on there, and I know Paul was jealous, like, there ain't no way I'm putting this on a Kiss album because it'll make me look bad, you know? But anyway, but the Warning together, the cohesiveness of songwriting, arguing it out, working it out, and making things work is really beautiful. And that's the most thing I got out of enjoying that segment of the video.
Damn who? Well, to be honest, Kiss was working with an asshole. Yes, 4 of them. 4 of the most ego-driven assholes you could ever run across. And you know what? It fucking worked, so I'm not going to complain too much. Dave, go ahead, Louis.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's lots of great songs by Kiss, regardless of what they went through to get to that point. And I just read this one thing that Bruce Kulick said. He hated when each Paul and Gene wrote songs, decide which one's better. And he goes, I'm going to get fired if I don't find a way to get out of this thing, because Paul will probably fire me if I think Gene's song's better. Gene won't talk to me and give me all kinds of grief if I don't say his song's better. So it was like a nightmare. Every time they asked me, whose song do you like better?
J-Bake, I still believe Scotty joined the Tunes Brothers in order to try to seal up a Gold's Gym or protein powder sponsorship. Louis is here for either Rotor Rooter or colon blow laxatives.
Nah.
Okay, Dave, your thoughts on that segment?
Yeah, it's good. And like I said, I like to see the fact that they do argue, because arguing is good. Let's be honest. All my best friends I argue with about all sorts of things. Because let's be honest, no one. If you've ever just got one person in charge of everything, it never really works.
What are you saying?
You're not in charge of everything, Rob.
Why do you think I put you in charge of shit?
Well, see, you're the producer. I do what we're going to do. So you're not in charge of everything. And I think it works better that way. You know, like I said, it's good that they can have an argument. And I think it probably helps their family, because you do tend to get over arguments with family a bit quicker than you do other people.
The Notorious Nemo, $5. Thank you, sir. Spotify says Hell You Call a Dream is the best song, Louis, and Satisfied, the worst song on the album from Plays. Sharks is the best song.
Got you there.
Yeah, I'm not going to say nothing. He just gave $5. So what
okay.
a smart man Notorious Nemo is. Wow, Clay Atkins. These are not my words, people. Paul and Gene were just 2 Jews in the same pod.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
Oh, boy. All right. Kiss. 4 total jerks in Kiss. Let's see. Then Bruce and Eric's, who are the most accounts, greatest guys. Vinny was another story. Yeah, Vinny was something you wouldn't be surprised to see on America's Most Wanted someday.
I think he's got a new show called Transitioning, isn't he?
Well, he went through that whole dog massacre thing, right? Yeah.
He looks like a girl these days.
Coincidentally, his favorite NFL player is Michael Vick. So there you go. All right. What is next?
It will be number 4. Does that make sense?
Could be, sure.
I can count.
Damn Who says he knows assholes because he's an asshole and proud of it. Damn Who, welcome to the club.
Should always be proud of your own asshole.
Yes.
Part in our band, we became known because of a YouTube video.
Social media is such a big part for us as a band, and without social media, we wouldn't have reached all those people who listen to our music.
Yeah,
right
UMG.
I honestly don't know how they do what they do, but I know that the numbers don't lie.
When it comes to going viral at the age that they did, they've had a head start building this social media and online presence that people would pay millions to obtain.
That's an amazing thing to see. I mean, to have this type of fan dedication and loyalty this early is, it's really impressive. And it speaks to the fact that their music really touches people.
When you start out in music, the first thing that you think about is not really like, how am I going to manage my social media? It's the last thing that you're thinking of.
When I first met them, they had already gone viral because they were uploading videos of them doing covers and practicing music so that their grandparents could see it.
When the attention came in, it was like pretty shocking.
What we did as a team was land it with a proper strategy and a vision. We all talk about what we're doing in social media every day.
It is like a lot to do, but honestly, like it helps us a lot.
Thank you, patrons. Shout out to all of you. You are awesome.
This community and friendships have been, forged all over the world.
We're always thinking of new ways to create new content for them.
And even if it just was like one person, it means something to them. That's an incredible feeling.
I think that they just feel like more responsibility to their audience, to their fans. They're constantly evolving and working more for them.
It can kind of be intimidating as our fan base grows. It's very hard not to think about what other people might think.
To think like I kind of need to be perfect. I mean, being a woman in rock is a whole thing.
We have gone through a lot of different experiences, mostly on stage, where we would get these looks like, what are these little girls gonna do?
Like, our treatment was sometimes very, very different. Like, the staff would treat you different, the bands would treat you different. I remember going at festivals when I was like 11. People would look at us like, oh, what are they gonna do here? And suddenly we started playing and everyone was just like shocked by what we did, and I was like, yeah. People really don't expect a lot out of you because they're not used to seeing women on these stages.
It is very nerve-wracking to go out in front of everyone and be that vulnerable. You see, like, this is me, this is what I do. Do you like it?
It's not easy for them being young, being female in a rock genre, and I think they're gonna bring change to that.
The most important thing in what we do is to just stay true to ourselves.
I'm really proud that this is a group of girls. I think there's so much talented female musicians out there, but historically they've been underrepresented in rock and roll. I don't really know what the reason is, but if I can be a part of helping to bring that energy to the forefront, then that's what I want to do.
In such a male-dominated field, to see not only three women but three sisters playing rock music, it was awesome. Also, being a father of two daughters, it was inspiring to see that too. It's something I wanted them to see.
We step up our game just to prove we belong here.
Rock and roll and music in general is for everyone to enjoy.
It doesn't matter who's playing the music. If you like it and if it's good and if you think it's good, that's what matters.
They are the future of rock and roll.
Playing rock and roll, like, there's no energy equal to that.
To see like all these people that are from all around the world, some of them are older, some of them are younger, how they all just connect like through the power of music.
And it's so fun to see people having fun with you. It's just like a big party.
When young girls reach out to us, it's the most satisfying feeling ever.
You can feel it when people tell you what your music means to them. It's such an indescribable feeling.
Like when someone comes up to you in the meet and greet and they're like, I started playing the drums because of you. Oh my God, like you feel like crying. It shows that anyone can do what we're doing.
It's easy for people to blow up on the internet and kind of not act like it's a thing, but these girls, they dedicate time every day to trying to make sure that someone in their fan group or their whole fan group has an experience.
There are so many people that follow us and listen to our music. If I am just able to keep doing what I'm doing right now and keep touching like people's hearts this way, I'm happy.
I really, really love what I do, and I'm very grateful that all of you have given me the chance to prove it and to be it and to share it with me.
Okay, Phil McCracken. Is Scotty related to Hulk Hogan? He's definitely got the genetics, right? And by the way, rest in peace to one of the greatest entertainers of all time, Hulk Hogan.
I'm not that damn big, guys.
No,
My
but you're
God.
impressive for your age, man. Take a compliment. Shut up. All right.
Yeah,
Now,
I do. I do. I mean, yeah.
you work at it, man. Be proud of it. You fucking put time and effort into it, man. I put time and effort into getting off the couch to go to the bathroom.
I was gonna say, Rob, I put time and effort into getting fat.
I love
it's
this
cost a lot of money.
I love this segment in particular because it shows how grounded they are and appreciative they are to the fans. I hope it always stays this way because you see this a lot. I know me and Scotty both have followed so many bands closely like you all follow The Warning through our lives. And they say all the right things and they have all the right sentiment early on before the fucking ego takes over and they forget who the fans are. And I know this is a few years ago, but I haven't seen any reason to think that that's changed. So that was my favorite part about this is their acknowledgement of the fans and how it makes them feel when the fans actually let them know they're an inspiration. It's got to be amazing. It does.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does, and I like I like just how grounded they are, man. There's no staging any of this stuff, man. You can tell it's off the cuff, man. It's at the moment, and it's honest. I mean, you can tell they're just honest about what they're doing, what they're saying, and I would like to know, what kind of stuff do they listen to? What kind of bands do they like? Who is
Muse.
their-
Have you heard of Muse? That's like their favorite band. It's like a prog band, right, Dave, from like Europe or something?
No, they're not prog. They're
One of their favorite bands is the Ruka Sativa, a Brazilian band.
Okay.
But I think if you listen to them, Queen, Kiss.
Yeah,
Black
they were
Sabbath, all those.
influenced by the stuff we were influenced by, especially the Kiss type stuff. They were definitely influenced by. It's not what they listen to now, but young because of their parents. They were like us. They grew up with music because of their parents.
Well, they like the Sound of Music soundtrack because they like to listen to relaxing stuff when they're really getting over tense and they want to calm down and be peaceful. So they'll listen to old movie soundtracks with, singing type soft, movie stuff you hear in movies and things and all that. But I wanted to say real quick was that you got to take a screen, isolate that clip at the beginning where Danny says we got big because we went viral. Make that a short and just put in a title, Take That, UMG.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole thing where she said, social media was such an important thing.
Yeah. Like it's, we're kind of like late bloomers, and especially me and other people go on the more coverage earlier on and whatever, but we're in the same category of people like us are the reason why The Warning is so big. I'm not the reason The Warning is big, but what we're doing here, people like us and our forefathers of YouTube, you might say, are the reason The Warning is so big, because giving them that attention.
Want to hit on two things real quick before we go to you, Dave and Lewis. 1925 Phantom. Women aren't underrepresented because they're women. It's because most of them just aren't good enough to represent. All I can say is that's 100% true. When it comes to rock, right? I'm not talking about attorneys or surgeons or anything else. I have watched so many cringeworthy, successful women rockers, and the first thing that comes to my mind every time is Jesus Christ, they're faking it. They're faking it. They're faking it. Not that they're not playing or singing. Their whole persona is a fucking fraud. You can tell when a musician truly feels the music and when they're trying to look like a rock star. And I'm as guilty as anybody. When I first watched The Warning with Moore, it was impressive. But I went away from that thinking, yeah, but it's 3 fucking chicks. I mean, what is this, a one-off single written by some other dude? You know, I was glad proven tremendously wrong. These girls can fucking rock. And when you watch them, it is so obvious that it is true raw emotion. And that's what most women in rock are missing. I'll go as vixens, you know, all your pretty faces set to the, you know, Desmond Child pop song of the week, trying to look metal, but they never were. That's why I've always respected Joan Jett. There is no way, win, lose, or draw, that you can watch Joan Jett on that stage and not know that she is a true rock star through and through. And that's what
And
I
I'll
see.
speak for Rita
Yes.
Ford too, man.
Yes, and I'll go as far as saying Danny's in that category because what she does cannot be faked. It is anger, it is emotion, it's in her face, it's in her movements, it's everything that I saw Joan Jett do for decades. She may not listen to rock on a regular basis in her own time. That's fine. She's a rock star. She's got rock in her blood. Your takeaways from that segment, Dave?
Yeah, I was just, when Ali said, you know, she was 11 playing festivals. I mean, well, can you imagine being 11 years old going up on stage and playing a rock festival?
Oh, God.
In front of, let's be honest, mostly guys, let's be honest, that's what it's going to be like. And I can understand why. And you can imagine being there not knowing who they were, to see young girls like that get up on the stage. You would be thinking, what's going on here? This isn't right. But as you said, as soon as they start playing, you'd be convinced because they were that good.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say,
go ahead.
I used to fake my orgasms when I was married.
How the hell did you pull that off?
It's not easy, I can tell you.
Damn. God dang.
I pretty much said before, but I saw a comment that Raider fans said, and I liked it. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. That was a nice sentiment. I think it's been said by someone else in the past, but it's a good sentiment to remember.
It was Benjamin Franklin, I think, had that quote first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll roll with it.
Jay Bacon, go ahead.
No, I said I got nothing else because I said my piece before.
Jay Bake says, in my opinion, this is a huge reason I cannot stand Liliac, aside from the fact that I think they are just so-so musicians. Their stage presence just looks like antics to me. I saw them up close and personal, right up front at a festival, and I 110% agree with everything you said except for the drummer. If that drummer's even still there, she was like getting married and having babies or whatever the hell, but she was a fucking maniac behind the drum kit. And that is one instrument you can't fake it. There's no way you can fake being an animal on a drum. Either you are or you aren't. And she definitely was. The rest of it was big time theatrics and very mediocre musicianship. Yeah. Go ahead.
I found another band on YouTube. It's 4. So I can't decide if it's 3 females or 4 because sometimes you see them on stage with just 3 of them, and other times it's 4. And I thought there was a band already by that name, but there never was. And it's a band called Plush. And I think it's because that Stone Temple Pilots has a song called Plush. That's why. But anyway, I think I haven't done a deep dive into them. I just checked out a couple things.
Do it.
You think in the future we might be able to
Sure.
get around to deal with
I
them?
covered Plush on a few songs.
Oh, so you know Plush more than I do, probably.
She did a lot of covers. This girl is so unbelievably vocally talented. She did Barracuda. And
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Swear to God, Hart was on stage. She is that fucking good.
But it's 4 girls.
I didn't pay attention, man.
Yeah, it's an all-female band.
Scott, a little further explanation from Jay Bake about Dave faking his orgasms. He said it's difficult, but involves a turkey baster and impeccable timing.
I got you. I got you. That's a little sick and fucking twisted, but I got you, man.
Look, Rob, I got delivery, but it's not anything from you.
Shut it up. Lewis, Plush apparently is a trio now. They have opened for the Warning. Man, that would have been a good show.
Oh, what a fight that would be.
Yeah.
But I'd still root for the Warning.
Okay, so everybody has talked about segment 4. How many are there left?
2.
2. All right. 2. One more. Let's roll it. See what we got.
Never really worked with people outside of like our trusted group.
My first actual personal interaction was when I met them. They were playing 2 sold-out nights at Mercury Lounge, and I came the first night and checked it out and was so blown away. I came back the second night with Jason Blum.
Devin O'Connor, our senior A&R person at Lava, she invited me to go to a show at the Mercury Lounge, and I think it was a cold winter's night, and I've been to the Mercury Lounge too many times in my life, but I went and my head exploded.
Going from being an independent band to a signed band is a very big change.
Because we have been independent since we started and we had been doing really well.
For years, we've always kind of seen where the band is going independently. We started seeing this growth and we would ask ourselves, it's like, how far can we take it ourselves? And then when is it time to start searching for partners?
We just didn't want to sign with someone who would take control over our music.
When Lava approached, it was just like an amazing opportunity for us.
The Warning had great touring numbers, great Spotify numbers, great social media interaction. Their fans are diehard. But first and foremost, the most important part is
I'm sorry. Is this girl bother anybody else? She's bothered me for 4 fucking segments now. I don't know what it is. I don't know. She's some executive at Lava Records, but there's just something about her that just makes me want to punch something. And I don't know why. I'm not saying she's a bad person. There's just something about her face that's punchable, right?
Yeah, it's she's one of these people that must be making money off the band, so she's going to lick their ass in every way, shape, or form.
She just looks too positive and phony. It's just an observation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And the music blew me away.
At Lava, we like to sign great artists. It's really a simple criteria.
When we were approached by Lava, we dove in and definitely found very clear pattern. It was the same sound and look before Jason got him, then after.
Who's
when
that guy?
they actually reached out to us, we couldn't believe it. And me being an amazing, like a big Paramore fan, I was just like, wow, Jason Blum just got, oh wow.
But when we started talking with Lava, we clicked. We were on the same page. I knew that this was the step that we had to take, that we would be able to be on another level now.
It took a long time.
We were negotiating for 7 months,
but we finally did it.
Signing with Lava was like a game changer for us.
Complete game changer.
When we signed, it was it was just such a big relief.
And now, with the whole Lava team behind us, I feel super powerful.
Honestly, I am so grateful.
We're this super strong team.
Being the first rock band in Latin American history to sign with a US major record label definitely has to be my proudest moment, and every grain of sand that I contributed to that is something that I'll cherish forever. That's one for the books.
Ever since we signed, we've gotten like so many opportunities. Like we got to record our 3rd album during a pandemic.
With the power of a record label, we can make songs for different artists. We can get our songs in movies or anything. Like the possibilities are endless. Our earliest goals for the band, like we're gonna learn this song and we're gonna rock it, we're gonna be on time. I mean, those are still goals, but as we grew, like up until now, our goals have changed drastically.
I would just really love to play all over the world and like have my music reach out to like as many people as possible.
And we would love to, you know, go on a world tour, get our music everywhere, and just kind of like share that love for music that we have wherever we can.
I can envision a stadium full of fans rocking out to The Warning. If we were able to help make that happen, it would be, you know, just it would just be magical.
Future hope for the band is world domination.
Yeah, we want to tour the world. We want to melt faces, rock out on stage. We want to break stereotypes and show the world that dreams do come true.
My goal for them is that they become the biggest band in the world. You know, it sounds crazy, but it's actually possible. It's going to take a ton of hard work, and it's also going to take some lucky breaks. At the end of the day, I think that is within the realm of possibility. there's no reason that they can't do that.
Our favorite place we traveled as a band, I think we have each one different in mind. Okay, let's just say it at the same time and see if it matches up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Argentina!
Ah!
Okay.
We got
Argentina was
awesome. It was such a great tour.
It was our first time having like such a long tour.
We
2
were-
weeks. It was
2
like 2
weeks.
weeks. It was
Yeah.
a
2
2-week
week
tour
tour.
with
It was our
Educativa,
first time there.
and it was amazing.
It was
Honestly,
absolutely
I am
amazing.
dying to go back to Argentina. The energy
It's
the
so different.
Argentina like public has, wow, awesome.
I miss you guys.
Fuck yeah,
Okay.
Argentina, bro.
Let's touch on something real quick. Phil McCrack. I love you, Phil. That chick went and saw the band, and then urged the CEO to go to the next night, and then sign them, and you have a problem with her. Makes no sense. Echoed by Bill, always trying to chastise me. He says what Phil said. Here's the thing, people. I don't give two shits what her intentions are or what role she played. My opinion was just simply she's got a face I want to punch. It had nothing to do with her personality or what she has or has not accomplished. She's just one of those fucking people, and you've all seen them. I don't care who you are or how much you go to church. If you're say no, you're fucking lying. You've all ran across that person or saw that person on TV or in a movie that you just wanted to punch just because their fucking face bothered you. Not that she's ugly or homely or attractive. There's just something about her that I don't like. That's just it. It's my opinion. So, you know, take that
I'd just
what you
like
will.
to say, Tunes Brothers does not condone violence towards women.
No, I would like to.
Yeah.
I didn't say I would. I said I would like to. Never judge a book by its cover. Well, you know what? I don't read, so all I can do is judge a book by its cover. So there you go.
Well, I judged the Alice Cooper album by its cover. Boy, was I wrong.
Yes. So judging the book by its cover can be wrong or it can be correct. I mean, you look at a shady dude in a fucking bar, females out there, and you get the, you know, heebie-jeebie vibe, and it turns out this guy goes out and attempts to rape someone later on that night. Judging the book by its cover on your part was probably a good idea, right? Again, not saying she's a bad person, saying her face just bothers me. The fake smile, the overly cheery phoniness of her. She reminds me of that one girl that interviews The Warning all the time, right? Who thinks she's a rock star herself. Help me out, Dave. You know her name, right?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
Or one of these.
Hagendorf.
Yeah, Allison Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah.
She is so fucking annoying and such a self-promoter of her own image. She'd be perfect for you, Louis, with her self-promotion. She is cringeworthy to watch her fucking interviews because she's trying to sell herself as the star.
Yeah, but
That's
the Warning girls actually like her because she makes them feel comfortable.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
Yeah, if they were to fire her, I'm sure she would have a lot of different things to say about the band.
I need some highlights in my hair. Why?
I used to have blonde tips in mine, but I got silver tips in there now.
Yeah, I had gold tips back in like my 20s, 30s.
Is that when you wore? That's when you wore the thong as well.
Yes.
You know,
With a satin thong.
If you don't mind, I'd like to go first on the opinion of what we just saw.
By all means.
Okay. Well, I have researched as much as possible and putting together some stuff. UMG has been in partner with Lava Records since 2008. And obviously, when they did the Air album, they left the girls alone to be the creative entities that they are to come out with this really spectacular album. And then when it came time to Keep Me Fed, they started to assert some control. We watch it with other writers and everything else. It's going to be a different sound. And I think somewhere along the way that UMG was taken over by another person that turned around and said, we're going to do all this crap to block and pull down and do these things and all that. So apparently UMG was very quiet for the whole time. But then when Then when it came to right after Keep Me Fed or during that time, that somebody decided to play hardball and be a total ass and not realize that you are not going to lose any money with these girls because there's videos all over the internet. You're going to lose money if you start to kill all the people that promoted them and say no more warning videos, no more songs, and the fan base is going to diminish to some point where it's going to be pointless for them to be putting anything out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I caught bits and pieces of that because the viewers are cracking me up here. One of them here, Dion Rob, are you still a POW hater? I am not a POW hater. I never was a POW hater. In fact, POW was the original attraction to the band for me. I hate that she has adopted a lazy drum style on stage. That's it. That's my only complaint with POW. That, and she tends to dominate interviews overly to where you really don't get to see or hear from the other girls that much. She's just a lot to take, right? POW is one of those girls who I would never date. It'd be a one-night thing and gone because she just doesn't shut up. And she is very high energy, high maintenance. That's what I see from POW. No, if she finds her passion behind that drum kit again, and people, I don't want to hear she's got back problems, she's got elbow problems, she's got tendonitis, she's got fucking fibromyalgia. I've heard all the fucking excuses. My response to that is too fucking bad. You sold yourself as an animated drummer. You watch that video I put up from the show I was at. She was sick. There's not a whole lot different if you watch any other show from that tour of how she plays the drums. I don't want to hear heavier sticks, more power. You can take all your excuses and save them. She's gotten lazy, and that's the end of the story. Danny couldn't tone herself down because she had back problems or fucking whatever. It's in her blood. And I thought that was the case with POW, but what I have been seeing for the last year plus does not show that anymore. Also, the praise for Allison. I don't care if the interviews were great. I don't care if she's the best interviewer in the world. I don't care if Paul Stanley has collaborated with her. You're all missing my point, much like Punchable Face. It's not a knock on their ability. It's their overall aura and vibe that I can't stand. That's it. Her whole intro is her in sexy outfits for like 17 minutes before she even gets to the fucking interview. Clearly, this chick loves herself and is trying to sell herself. It'd be like if my intros for this were nothing but different snapshots of me. It's sickening, it's transparent, and it's annoying. That's all I'm saying.
Let's take a vote. Who wants sexy pictures of Rob at the beginning of our streams? I want to see you do the Paul Stanley pose with the thong.
You know, I wasn't going to rant at all on here, but everybody's pushing my buttons today. Maybe they're doing it on purpose.
Rob?
Yeah. Woosah. Woosah.
Serenity
All
now.
Goose.
Serenity
Bravo.
now.
Scott, you were quiet always. Rob's set in his ways. Yes, I am. And that will never change. Scotty, what did you think of the last segment?
Yeah, I don't know the girls enough, man. I mean, yeah, the drummer seems to be almost like the lead singer, you know, of the band. In the interviews and stuff like that too, you know. Maybe they want her to be. I mean, you know, like I said, I don't know how this works with him, but I do know that she mentioned Argentina. Yes, like I said, go take a look at the 2009 AC/DC Black Ice concert in Argentina. I have that. That's the one they made after the tour to put on, you know, to sell because of the energy of that crowd. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, dude. I don't think I've ever seen a crowd like that in my whole life. Literally. It's amazing.
Yeah, Argentina. Some of my favorite Kiss videos online are from Brazil, Argentina. Amazing people. Their love for music is just on a whole nother level. Damn Who said he sold himself and got arrested. Dion, Scotty will love you. He says, and I don't know where this comes from, AC/DC rocks.
Absolutely.
Dave, your thoughts on the segment?
I've forgotten what we watched.
I know, me too. That's because Scott kept talking for like 3 hours.
I do. Seriously, I forgot what we just watched. I do remember they all said Argentina was their favourite place to play. And to be fair, a bit like Scott says, all the concerts I've ever seen from Argentina, the crowd just goes off. So I can only imagine being the artist on stage. It must be, next level to see it happen like that. So, and I think those South American countries do tend to really get, over the top with the concerts, and a bit like here. I mean, I'm trying to think. A lot of the Aussie concerts I've been to too have been the same. The crowd's quite subdued for most of the time. There'll be some times when they peak up, but yeah, most of the time it's But yeah, I think I think maybe in the civilized countries, as we like to call ourselves, we just.
It's so boring, though. I mean, look, to Mel Porter's point here, I look at any of the fan cams of the Warning playing in Argentina. The crowds are intense. They sing along with Danny's riffs, and I remember seeing that with Detroit Rock City from Kiss. They'd sing the guitar solo.
They sing, yes.
Yeah,
AC/DC's Highway to Hell. Oh my God, dude!
It's amazing how that population of people just feels music.
Wow.
Dion says AC/DC is up there with Black Sabbath. He really likes you, Scott. Okay, Louis, your thoughts?
Well, I pretty much said that the video just basically covered their association with getting contract with Lava Records. And that's pretty much what they talked about, how they want to do to take them further than they are, get all more opportunities, make them the biggest band. So I pretty much covered all that earlier. So I don't have anything more to add to that. So that's what they were talking about, Dave, about Lava Records and what they're doing for the Warning and how the Warning loves them because of the opportunities they have. But like I said, but now that UMG has probably a new CEO or something that wants to go full on asshole is why things are changing.
Bill says that's the way they were for Rush, and I don't know what
Aruca Sativa.
Okay. Argentina, Brazil, that whole continent, man, just nuts for music. It is amazing.
Did you want to see a bit of Vince Neil from his concert?
Yeah.
You'll like this, Scotty.
Oh God.
Look at him rock.
Yeah, drummer. can't even fucking take it, man.
Oh,
Holy shit. I got to get some of these comments in because they're killing me. Hold that thought there.
Look,
looks
man.
like Guns N'
He's
Roses.
not even timing. The timing is not even on, bro.
Let me run some comments here. Looks like Guns N' Roses cashed in on the guns and forgot the roses. We got cringe. Vince was never any good, but now he's beyond bad. This is
Hey, you're
critical.
full of shit.
His
Whoever
fat
you are.
is pressing on his lungs. Vince Meal. I think Vince should have a sing-off with Ace now.
Ace would win.
He has the same one pack that Louis has. Okay. Scott, I'll let you go. You're the huge Motley Crue guy.
Yeah. Whoever said Vince wasn't ever any good is full of shit. So I'll go ahead and get that out of the damn way because I've seen him in the early days and he was fucking spectacular. Okay. Nothing like that. He sounded like the fucking album, bro. I mean, literally, just sounded like you was listening to CD. But this, see, evidently that's what Darren was talking about. But
Yeah.
Darren says he always hated him, but I don't know why. But anyway, I haven't seen Motley Crue since their supposedly Alice Cooper wrapping it up tour. What was that, 2013 or 14 or somewhere around in there? But anyway, and they were still fucking really good. 2012, whatever. They were great when they were with Kiss when I seen them. But I haven't seen them since. I don't pull them up on YouTube that much or anything. That sucked. I mean, I would not like that at all. And I'm sure it sounds better live, but it's the timing, man. What the hell, bro? That Wild Side can't be that hard of a song to sing, even at your age. So, yeah, man, it's not good.
All right. One comment that come up here, probably the comment of the night here from Brave Retreat. I didn't know Bob Dylan covered Motley Crue songs. Yes. Louis, your thoughts?
Well, I want to apologize to the Warning fans that we played this. And I also want to apologize to longtime Motley Crue fans that know that they've done much better than this. I myself saw them twice. But I think it's the audio, Vince off time, and the backup mics weren't even operable to hear the refrain of Wild Side to make the song sound a little bit better. And so I really don't know why this was played other than just to embarrass poor Vince Neil publicly.
That was the only reason I put it on.
Okay.
If people keep showing up,
if you
they're
charge
gonna
people for
keep doing it.
But I said, if you're charging people for that, you should be ashamed.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you understand one thing he said?
I think I heard
I know the
Side,
song.
I think, I
Apparently he doesn't, though, because he's got the lyrics up
couple
on a
words
monitor.
here and there I might have made out, but I'm not going to try to. I don't remember what they were. I just know that what can I say? You do Bob Dylan,
Could you imagine? Could you
Wild
imagine?
Side, and you're down the street, and
Matt Dubai, his stage present reminds me of an elderly person in the grocery store.
I was going to say, like, look at his dancing with that mic stand. Was
that part too. Yeah, the way he's walking, he walked around like he accidentally wandered onto the stage. Like, how did he get off the stage?
You mean a dementia patient?
I will say,
God, I love it.
fucking drummer, absolutely fucking phenomenal. Not only did he properly have 2 bass drums, the motherfucker had 3 drumsticks. All right. He was kicking, stomping, standing, pounding. That is an entertaining drummer. That is who Powell used to be.
To be fair, though, he's probably doing that so you take your eyes off Vince Neil.
It worked.
They did.
Yes. I have to agree.
All right, so we got one. Wait a minute. He needs to be doing commercials for Metamucil. Raider fan, always the one to step across dangerous boundaries. He sounded like Ozzy on Ludes. Too soon? Jesus Christ. Jay Bake, he should name his tour the Silver Alert Tour. Yes, he had a lot of Joe Biden on stage going on there, just mass confusion and babbling, incoherent speak. And one ran our country, and the other is widely considered one of the biggest rock bands of all time. So that's the state of our country was in. There you go. Last one of the Mayday series.
Yeah, I'll put a singer on there.
COVID.
Once we signed with Lava, we didn't want to lose any time.
The band was about to go on a
Okay, real quick. I've been wanting to say this and I keep forgetting. Doesn't that Rudy guy, the manager, right? That's Rudy?
Yep.
Doesn't he look like he could be related to Noodles from Offspring?
I'm not an
I've
Offspring
never seen
fan,
Noodles
so I
ever
don't.
look like that.
Okay.
Oh, there's the voice in the
and then
background.
COVID hit, so everything that they were working on got canceled, and so they shifted the target immediately to okay, we're going to make the record now.
And David Bendeth was a name that crossed between options that they brought to the table and options that we had seen. Really quickly, it became, okay, let's get him on a Zoom.
We had a Zoom call with him. Like there was just like a
Okay, I'm going to keep interrupting because I'm that big of an asshole. He's a combination of Noodles and Drew Carey. And the wife came over and said that the other guy reminds her, and I was thinking this earlier, of an aged Ray Romano. So there you go. That's what I get out of interviews is who do people look like?
I just want to say real quick. The last time I saw Noodles, he looked like Elvis Costello with spiky hair.
Yeah,
So I don't
same.
know
He hasn't changed. He's got a few more pounds on him. Hasn't changed.
All right.
connection. We shared the same vision. We were actually very, very excited, very nervous as well, because we knew it was going to be like tough.
Teenagers are different than any other band. You know, they're very pliable.
We were really nervous. Looking back on that call, David was also nervous. Like, we see it. And I was like, why were you nervous? Like, we were shaking. You are David Bendeth.
Making an album in the middle of a global pandemic was a very unique experience.
We started lockdown on March. We had not left our house until September. We were really respectful of like the safety of it all.
Obviously, it was COVID, and the first thoughts across my mind were, how is this going to work? But what we did was we were in the bubble.
We decided after a lot of conversations about it that we were going to record it in New Jersey.
We did COVID testing. We traveled with seat covers and masks and face shields and gloves, antibacterial and sprays and wipes. Nobody on our team got COVID. We were all very careful and very professional. And I think, that just makes this album that much more special.
We were just in a little bubble all the time.
I think it kept us really in the zone.
It was definitely scary starting at first, because of course the questions come up of maybe if we wait another month, things will be safer. But it ultimately came down to the fact that the music was ready and it feels urgent, it feels relevant. We want to put this music out.
Working with David and Rick was a very new experience for us. Actually never worked like this much with people who only talk in English.
Their English is amazing. My Spanish is absolutely awful. The one time that I brought up a mispronunciation, I can't remember if it was Danny or Pau, one of them said something and I jumped on it. And you just hear Allie from the back, your Spanish sucks. You gotta watch out. You don't know who's waiting in the wings to get you.
This third album, I am so proud of what we did with it.
It came out very generational, very social. More than anything, I think we want to call out people to think.
It's about Gen Z, it's about technology, it's about communication. The new album is the world from New Warning's perspective.
Since we evolved as people, we changed, our views of the world changed, we grew up. I think our writing and our music changed and grew as well.
In this instance, you could tell that each one of them had spent time honing their craft and practicing. I saw a crack in the door where I could push them and I could open a world to them where they could be less rigid. Even though it's tough and they don't like it, they're built to withstand it. And so you could push them. And so I did.
It was great to see how our different opinions meshed and became this great album.
We like really stepped out of our little box of songwriting.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, there was moments when it was extremely tense.
It was sometimes like, David, like that's not how it is right now. And David was like, well, this is how it should be. And we're like, ah! We had a lot of conversations about how to meet a healthy middle.
I guess the best way to say it's how you come back from that determines how much you've grown.
Working with them was incredible, and we all got to learn so much from the process. I feel super confident about the next steps I'm taking as a musician because I got to learn from the pros.
All the work with David Bandit, it was a blessing. It was amazing.
I already missed them. We were with them for like so long. It was an amazing experience.
I hope that this record goes platinum and we all have plaques on our walls. You know, as far as for the band, I wish them all the success in the world.
We know that we have much to learn every single day. There's always something more.
My dreams and goals for them is for them to grow as players, to keep writing songs. But my biggest goal for them would be to stay in touch with who they are and never lose that.
Our love for what we do is so real and it's so big. Like, why have we worked so hard for so long to just stop here?
Sataniel, un día exitoso.
Woo! Yay! Un día exitoso!
Okay, that was uncalled for. I love it, Dave, showing off the face diaper in honor of the comments. Absolutely broke me up in the middle of that. Here's someone who thinks they're smart. Poetry for Life tells you a lot, right? When they use poetry in their name. V-neck leather pants, hairy chest. First of all, I've never seen V-neck leather pants. Hairy chest makeup and high heels, platform boots. It's what is in his dress coat from Rob. But Danny wearing baggy pants and a tie is not cool. Kiss dress apparel. Okay. First of all, you are speaking on one of the most iconic, influential bands to ever play an instrument on this fucking planet. All right. And what they did completely redefined what rock and metal looked like on stage. Without what they did, you wouldn't have seen the majority of the bands progress visually, let alone stage show wise. Second of all, Triple X fucking, Biggie Smalls jean shorts on a girl who weighs 105 pounds if she's lucky, with a short sleeve button down man's t-shirt and a giant tie is the furthest thing from fucking rock and roll that you could ever fucking imagine. Oh, by the way, let's put that on a female now. So there's no comparison. When Danny uses said outfit to influence the next 40 years of musicians, then we can have this conversation. Until then, you just come up as one of the most ignorant, fucking knowledgeless morons that I have ever fucking come across in chat. All right, Dave, there you go.
Sorry, I didn't hear most of it. I had my face mask on.
Yeah.
Yes, we had to wear
What
it.
a fake.
I'm sorry. I don't care if you don't like Kiss. If you can't take that I take shots at your precious little girls, who I love, don't be so fucking butt all stupid as to turn around as the champion of a band on the level of The Warning and try to take shots at fucking epic, top of the mountain legacy fucking bands. All right.
World domination.
You absolutely make yourself and the rest of the Warning Army look completely fucking ridiculous. Talk about punching above your fucking weight class. When they've accomplished a sliver of a fucking hair on the ass of one of the members of Kiss, then you can attack Kiss in response to me poking fun at these girls. There you go.
Well said.
All right, I'm done. Go ahead, Dave. The segment.
I must admit, I wasn't paying that much attention.
I wasn't either because there was a lot of screaming on that one.
And I was looking for my mask.
I just look, Dave. I'll take it right here. I just hate the fact that everybody just fell hook, line, and sinker for this fucking COVID shit, bro. I just, what the fuck, man? The government's just showing you they can control your peon asses anytime they want to. That's it.
Correct.
No different from the fucking seasonal fucking flu that kills hundreds of fucking elderly people, thousands every fucking year. I didn't buy it then, I don't buy it now, and I ain't never going to. And they damn sure didn't stick me with none of their fucking needles.
Amen, bro.
There you go.
I was one of those who didn't get paid to stay home. I was working, transporting people every day through the entire COVID deal. I knew it was a joke, especially once I was told I had it and it was not much worse than the common flu. I feel for people who lost their lives, but the underlying theory here is, and what's pretty much been proven, is those people had other conditions that this made worse. It was an absolute scam to crush the economy and to put basically us all in fear mode to be controlled. That's the extent of how far political I'll get on it. But the face diapers comment made my day because I see these idiots every fucking day, at least once a day. And they're usually teenagers. They'll be walking into Walmart with 5 of their friends, normal, and they'll have the douche mask on. And I just shake my head thinking, how many people have come out and proven they don't work, they don't stop, they don't prevent, and you're still walking around like the germophobic, Chinese people, tourists with their masks on, that they've done since the beginning of time. It's beyond ridiculous. The government and big pharma made tons of fucking money off stupid fucking people. And our economy went in the fucking toilet as a result. There are restaurants that have never reopened. Our life here in North Dakota, you had gas station every mile that was open 24 hours. Thanks to COVID lockdowns and companies going bankrupt because of no fucking business and unable to pay employees as a result, they've never, ever went back. Now we've got like 2 in the entire Bismarck-Mandan area that you can fucking, if you get off of work, I feel sorry for people who get off of work at 11 o'clock at night or something. They got no fucking grocery store to go to, no Walmart to go to, no fucking gas station to go in and buy a pop because the grocery stores are closed. It's all fucked everything up over a lot.
Yes, it did. You're damn right, bro. And like I said, man, look, people just fall in line like fucking sheep, bro. It's fucking breathtaking. Fucking hell. And they'll still argue with you to this day.
Hey, there are people who disown family.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there are people who disown family members and friends over them not being hyper fucking believing in this COVID crap. Jennifer Aniston, Rachel from Friends, probably the poster child for the most uppity fucking COVID thumper on the planet, openly bragged about fucking cutting multiple fucking personal relationships off because they wouldn't get the shot. Paul and Jean came out and basically called us who wouldn't get fucking the COVID shot killers. I mean, it's absolutely insane how of all ages people were so fucking stupid. When here I am with a high school D student average, education, thinking you guys are all fucking nuts. What the fuck? It's just unbelievable what next level stupidity exists around the world. Anyway, there you go. Take that to your X chat forum, you fucker, and see if the other warning channels will give you all of the vast array of discussions that we have covered here. I dare you. All right, Blue.
Okay. I want to address the COVID thing first and then the video. I do not support that the inoculation given by COVID did any good to stop the COVID disease, because if this shot would have worked, we would have not had this problem to the extent. Also, the fact that they lie about the amount of deaths caused by COVID. It's that any death that was supposed to be, I forgot who it was, somebody with the CCD basically said, no matter what they die of, call it a COVID death. Whether it was a motorcycle accident, heart attack, cancer, or whatever, you fell off a cliff, they said, let's always call it a COVID death, you know? Now, here's the other thing.
And he's not lying.
I worked for your municipality, so I had to get the first 2 shots or whatever, and they recommend 16 shots for the whole thing. But before taking the first shot, I had this problem going across my back. I would walk and my muscles just grab me, and I just stand up paralyzed while I'm walking. My back is killing me up there. Why is this happening to me? But once I got that COVID shot, that problem went away. So I liked the COVID first shot I got. Then the other 2 didn't. The next one didn't affect me at all. Didn't change anything. So I'm not saying that COVID shot was good for preventing COVID, because I got it too. It was like a flu, whatever, after that. So it didn't make a difference to get that fucking shot anyway. But like I said, the first shot I got, it corrected this problem I had. The muscular across my back and my lats or whatever just grabbed me, and I just couldn't move for about 10 seconds before I could relax and walk, start walking again. But now to the video, I just want to know, because they're just saying the same stuff over and over, basically. Are those black and white shots of film clips of the time they actually recorded that album, or we don't know for sure? When they show the girls really young in the studio, is that while they recorded the Error album? Because thank goodness this is all about the Error album, and this is pre-Keep Me Fed for those things that they're talking about. So that's all I have to say on what we just saw.
Okay. Dave, anything on the warning, since somebody says, well, I guess we're not talking about the warning anymore. This is what it's like, kids. You should really watch our other podcasts, because if you look at a thumbnail and say, well, I don't give a fuck about KISS or ACDC, it doesn't matter. We talk about whatever the fuck comes up interspersed there. So go ahead, Dave.
Yeah.
Oops, I was going to put that same thing up there. Go ahead.
I'm a bit like you guys. Now, I was doing taxi driving when COVID hit, so I lost my job, obviously, because nobody was going anywhere. We were lucky here, though. The government paid me just as much to stay at home as I was earning as a taxi driver. So that was good. I didn't get the jab until, and it was probably a year and a half later, and that was only because who I'm working for now had a policy that came in that if you didn't get the jab, you couldn't work. So I had to get it. So I wouldn't have got it otherwise. I lived in a country town at the time, so I barely saw anyone anyway. So the chances of me getting any COVID was, slim. But we had major lockdowns, and yes, a lot of businesses folded, never came back. We're only sort of just getting back to normality now. So, I had COVID the first time I got it. I did get really sick, but I got it again after I had the jabs. Not as bad, but I've had flu that made me quite sick as well. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. Who knows? With all these things, there are truths and there are lies, and it's hard to work out which is which. And we all moved on though, thank God. And as far as the warning goes, I can imagine what a pain in the ass that you're just about to go off on a big American tour, which is what they were about to do when COVID hit, and then it all gets cancelled on you and you can't do it anymore. So maybe it was good. That's how we got the Error album, I suppose. So.
Well, and Techno Dazed here said, I couldn't go to the first morning show because you had to bring proof of vaccination to the show, which violates all HIPAA laws and is absolutely un-American. Also, fun fact, I and the wife were at KISS, the End of the Road tour in Grand Forks, North Dakota, about 2 weeks before COVID was announced. Yes. So we were in an arena with over 10,000 people, unmasked, unvaccinated, having a good fucking time. And it turns out, oh, by the way, COVID actually started transmission and creation like 7 months prior to when they announced it. So right there was proof that, to me, it was a fucking joke. It was a fraud. It was a bad flu strain at the very most.
Yeah, just calling it something different.
Yeah, one time I had the flu, bronchitis, and a sinus infection driving home from Aberdeen, South Dakota, 200 miles. I stopped about every 15 miles to fucking throw my guts up on the side of the curb. 10 times worse than anything COVID ever did to me. So it was a joke. The fact that the Warning had to do that sucks. I don't think that should be allowed to do that. I think if the band or the promoter or the venue has a liability issue they're concerned about, then they shouldn't do the show. You should never be forced to have anybody show medical records for anything. It's none of your fucking business. Just like if you say I'm sick and they say I want a fucking note, all the doctor's going to say is, yes, they were here. That's it. Because it's none of your fucking business. It's a law.
No.
It's a privacy law. And when bands start doing that, I said, go fuck yourself. I hope you go broke.
Yeah, so they basically just say, a doctor nobody said, so-and-so was here under my care at this time, and that's all they're going to write.
Yeah. And someone on here said the clap, yes. Damn Who said the clap was much more worse. Or so I hear, he says. You've had
Louis,
it. You've had it.
Louis,
I would not know that, my gosh.
Come on, Louis. That's a Navy thing.
No. I don't know. Maybe let's put it this way. During my heyday, I had a Magic Johnson that I never got sick with.
Hey, Magic Johnson got sick.
I know. I used to say Magic Johnson ain't so magic because he got sick.
Gideon still sees people driving alone in their car with their mask on. Yeah, they're afraid. They're afraid they're going to breathe into the ventilation system. It will then recirculate and they'll reinfect themselves. These fucking
people.
I'm sorry. I don't advocate violence or anything either, but clearly this world could use a little population control and, enema. People like that. How do you even begin to understand or defend that? I
will tell you how to understand them. Defend them, I can't tell you that. Now, those are the people that sit at home in front of CNN and bullshit like that. There you go, bro. Fucking ridiculous.
Okay, so we've done enough semi-political health debates. I've shit all over the Warning. I've shit all over the KISS themselves. Remember, I called them four
any erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. So anyway, we've covered a vast array of stuff. I've certainly made up for my lack of anger on the last episode.
Let me just put up this little funny clip as well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is erectile dysfunction mean that your boner just ain't as big as it used to be, or is it more than that?
It means it doesn't get up at all, Louis. It's always flaccid.
Then I'm still healthy.
Just may not stay up as long. That's all.
No, or remember when you were a kid? I would go right up against your belly,
stick out your waistband.
Like it kind of does this. Like maybe this. I'm kind of like that now.
Well, the problem is these days, Louis, it hasn't got as far to go to get to your belly, so it should be easier.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't even reach in that direction. It's like.
And let's be honest, when you're doing self-love, you only need to be hard for about 40 seconds anyway. So.
Hey, sometimes I do more looking for than looking at, so it takes me a couple hours before I finally get to go to town.
I'm sure Raider fan is being sarcastic, but he says, "Are we going to talk about Sydney Sweeney?" We certainly could, because that is the most ludicrous, ridiculous, fucking made up thing that I've ever. You don't know what that is, Dave?
No, she got a nice rack.
Yeah, I mean, but they're saying because she said she's got nice jeans in a jeans commercial that it's somehow racial, saying that it's white jeans.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, the only thing I heard about her was Trump loves her because she was registered as a Republican before she, years ago or whatever. Goes, oh, I like that. I like her now. I didn't know if I liked her or not, but I like her now.
All
Can I
right.
just tell you guys-
Damn sure did. Bob says, Dave, we need to see an Argentina video from the last tour.
I am not a registered Republican voter.
What?
I'm not a registered Republican voter. Does that take me off the channel?
No, doesn't take off the channel because I removed myself as being a voter because I got so mad about when 2020 happened, and right before the 24 election, I re-registered to be a voter, but I just put myself as a non-affiliate, so I can vote.
I'm not a registered Democrat voter either because we don't have that here.
Yeah, I'm an affiliate. I'm non-affiliated.
Louis is a registered sex offender.
No,
only in 32 states.
That is. I'm not a sex offender. I'm just sexually offensive. There's a difference.
Clay Atkins, now in our defense, because there are some people, and I don't know if they're sarcastic or not, you got to know about 2 hours in, this is going to go off the rails, right? Saying we're not talking about the warning, yada, yada. Okay, we did our job. But you guys are not helping. They keep feeding the fire. Clay Atkins, Sydney Sweeney is the cure for erectile dysfunction. You guys all throw your 2 cents in and get us going even more. So it's a group effort here. Clay also says you can't offend yourself, Lewis.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I'm sexually offensive.
That's when you know you're in trouble, Luke, when you turn yourself in.
Non-offender.
Dion, Sydney Sweeney has a lazy eye, but I would do her.
I haven't seen her with her pants off, has she?
You really wouldn't need to. That she's wow. Scott says he got kicked off and he'll see everybody Tuesday. How about that, man? Scott being respectable to the warning, paying attention, not playing show and tell. Everybody give love to Scott.
I'm the only one who put show and tell up.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because that the songs playing in the background during those interviews were like really good songs to check out.
All right. What is BCS? Excellent, my friends. Excellent. Un Salado Desado Los Cabos Taco Bell. BCS.
I've got a little 20-second funny clip to put up.
Okay, let's watch that funny.
You're just going to ignore me and not answer?
I don't know what it is.
I don't know the answer.
Oh,
I'm waiting for the answer.
Yeah, he'll have to give us the answer.
Hello, I think my friend just died. Okay, I understand. First things first, make sure he's dead, okay? Okay, I got it. Okay, now what?
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Sorry,
so there
people.
you go. I've ranted. One person hours ago, it seems, said Rob's got a thin skin. No, you don't all understand. I enjoy getting angry. It's my happy place. So, yeah, I had fun. It started off horribly with just me and Dave because it was not what we prepared for. I had technical difficulties right at the jump. See, here we go again. Sydney Sweeney is a nearly okay actress. I don't care. I've never seen any of her TV or movies. I just thought it was a pretty decent commercial. Anyway, Eyes Without a Face. Okay, there you
Because
go.
I was talking about her other eye.
Oh, you were talking about the old brown eye.
No. What was it? What did he call it in is it Wandering Eye?
Oh, whispering.
Lazy eye.
Yeah.
Whispering Eye.
Lazy eye.
All right. Well, there you go. Fucking A. What do we got going on Tuesday?
We have the rock battle on Tuesday.
The rock battle, and I am going to give the big middle finger to YouTube, and we are going to be having sample audio clips of the songs. And if you fuck this channel over, I'll just make another one. So that's where I've landed on this whole bullshit UMG and the rest of you fucking communist pricks.
And I think the following Tuesday we're going to do One Live Kiss from Paul Stanley.
All right. So we will do a better job announcing next week's. This was partly my fault because I didn't.
Holy.
No, it was partly my fault because
totally your
I
fault.
did not check with Dave to see exactly what we were doing. We just kind of left things at the end of the last video the other day saying, well, it'll be a mixture of stuff. So I really didn't know what to make for a thumbnail. And then I got out of my creative mode and completely forgot until Dave messaged about 2 hours before the podcast.
Well, because I
Are we
woke up
still
and
on?
there was nothing there.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot to advertise. All right, so the thumbnail that I put up there and the title I put up there was just quick. It'll change, but Fargan Ice Holes. All right. This train has crashed. Yes, Raider fan, it has crashed. Buenos Nachos, mi amigos. Yes, Clay Atkins. I can't help but think of the country singer every time I say your name. Anyway, that's enough. We're done. We're out. We're gone. Tuesday, we'll be back for a song battle. Go ahead, Dave.
Next Saturday, I'll announce the winner of the Tunes Brothers shirt too. So.
Next Saturday, yes, the winner of the Tunes Brother shirt will be announced by Dave. And if you wear it, I will be extra impressed.
Send a
So,
picture with it on.
If you send a picture of you wearing the shirt, once you get it, Lou will do a strip tease on the show.
Now they're never going to wear it.
Yes, the country star is Chet Atkins. Thank you. Damn sure did, Bob.
There's Chet Atkins and there's Clay Aikens. So it's a mix of two different.
It's a mix of two. Okay. I have no clue what I'm going to do with this tomorrow morning, but I will give it a try. Thanks a lot, guys. Sorry, Warren. This was not the best, but not the worst. And there's a good, say cheese moment for you. Until next time, thanks for watching.